Happy Monday, athletes. We've got handstand push-ups on the board today. So athletes joining us, don't let that deter you. If that sounds kind of scary, we'll go over our modifications for what you can do to progress into that movement. So starting off in our skills portion, you guys are going to be working on your handstand walk progression. So beginning athletes, what that could look like for you is a dumbbell overhead hold or dumbbell overhead press. So you'll pick two dumbbells of choice, press them straight up and overhead, and you guys are just gonna hold for that 45 seconds time. Intermediate, maybe kind of on the cusp of advanced athletes in that handstand walk, you guys are gonna be kicking up to the wall, possibly trying to pull your feet off of the wall so you're not just kind of passively resting on the wall's position. This can look like a couple different things depending on where you're at in that intermediate handstand walk. Next is going to be our advanced athletes. You're comfortable with handstand walks or you're comfortable with your hands leaving the ground. Maybe you kick up to the wall and walk away from the wall is another way you guys can do that if you're not quite comfortable out on the open floor. So 45 seconds total, minute one. Minute number two, you guys are looking for that easy pace row. This is going to hurt because you guys are going to be pushing your body weight away. And now I'm asking you guys to pull on that rower at an easy pace. So there's going to be a lot of pushing and pulling from this workout. In the skills portion, there's nothing to keep track of. You guys are just going to rotate back and forth wherever that looks like for you. And feel free to progress up those handstand walks or wherever you guys are at. So maybe round one, you do those overhead holds. Round two, you do those kick-ups or handstand holds on the floor. Then maybe round three, you start into those walks. So you guys will go back and forth for 10 minutes. That's 5 sets total on each one of those rounds. For the workout, we have a 16-minute AMRAP, starting off with a 300-meter row for male athletes, 200-meter row for female. Then you guys are going to go into 10, 20, 20. 10 handstand push-ups. Some of us, this can be our dumbbell overhead press. Some of us, this could be a planche press or a pike's press. Then you guys go into those alternating snatches. It's 10 each side, so that's 20 total, finishing with wall balls. So those overhead presses can look like this. If you're modifying a handstand push-up, you want to pick a challenging but doable dumbbell press to where you're not able to do all 10 unbroken. You should be able to do like 3 or 4, and then maybe you have to shake it out so you guys can go back into it fresh. Another way you guys can do this is going to be a planche or pike press. So you'll start in your push-up position, send your hips up, look to your knees, and then go into a lower your head to the floor. It'll look like this. So push-up position, hips come up, head looks to your knees, and then you lower and press. Pike or planche press. Next will be those handstand push-ups if you're able to do that prescribed. Going into those alternating dumbbell snatches, you'll start from the floor, pull, and then you can either switch at your chin, or you guys can go straight down to the ground and switch as you pull. One thing I want you to think about here is not just letting your hips hinge and your butt go back. Think about bending your knees, pulling your hips down to really use your legs to stand up. You should squat down, but think about pulling your legs down to the ground so you're not using your back. Finally, that brings us to wall balls. Wall balls, if you're not able to do wall balls, you guys can shorten the distance to the target. You guys can go into like a bear hug with the wall ball and body weight squat if you're not able to throw the ball up. Or you guys can even go air squats if you need to modify that if you don't have a wall ball. So that's gonna be one round. You'll start back at the top, 300, 200, wherever you're at, and then work your way through for 16 minutes total. Your score is gonna be the complete rounds plus the reps. So if you get 3 complete rounds, you start your 4th, and maybe I get 1 handstand push-up, that would look like 200 reps for the meters plus 1. So 3 plus 201 would be my score. Make sure you guys log your scores in the whiteboard. I'll see you in class. Happy Monday.